It's too early. My memory remembers nothing. I always wait for January. To me.
Spend your middays with Kenny Morgan and Iowa's favorite country, K97.
19 minutes before we hit the top of the hour, still sitting right now at 31 degrees in Fort Dodge. We're going to run down that K97 weather a little bit later on. But hey, there he is in full and disgusting living color. He's on our videos stream at Iowa's Favorite Country K97 on Facebook, also my Darren on air page as well. Our buddy Joe Denim, it's time to derail this train. Brother, what's going on this morning? Joe Denim!
Joe Denim, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good. I got you on the Old Blanche Bluetooth today. What do you think of that?
Well, hey, it's sounding pretty clear, and hopefully old Blanche doesn't give up the ghost and it starts echoing really bad, but you know.
Come on, Blanche, don't do this to me. Yeah, so how you doing? How's it going over there?
Good, man. We're at 31 degrees right now. We're looking for a high today of 52. You know, so not bad, but it's going to start to plummet from here. We're going to get down back in the 30s, starting tomorrow. Next week, we're going to have teens in the overnight, so yeah, it's going to be a little on the chilled side.
It's because it's Christmas time.
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and the family, and to A1 and Double A and everybody down there, man.
The whole Denim team, the whole Denim Darren team.
The whole the whole JD Double D, right? That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
So, buddy, let's talk about this on the air because you and I have talked about it off the air. You know, you called me the other night, man. Holy smoke! You know, which you and I talk all the time. But anyway. The story you told me the other night, it's like, oh, I couldn't get that out of my head. But, okay. Before we go there, let's talk about Real Tree Camo Christmas. Last Thursday, you told us on Thursday from Tennessee right here that you were going to be heading into the studio that day and recording a new Christmas tune. And by golly, you got it cranked out in a hurry because you had it to me, like Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah. We, I know it's... procrastination nation on my end. So I was pretty proud of myself. I mean, 3 weeks before the big day, I've got it out. So go me,
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a lot of people, and I don't exaggerate this, brother. I told you this the other night. I told A1 this as well. I've had a lot of people asking, how do they get that? Well, here's the way you're going to have to get it for right now anyway, or probably through the holiday season. You're going to need to get a hold of me and request it here on K97.
Yeah, normally you put it up everywhere on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Wannabe and Farmers Only and ChristianSwingers.com and wherever else, Spotify, wherever you put it up. And this time we just said, you know what? If you want to hear Real Tree Camo Christmas, I think this year you just got to call the local radio stations and ask for it. They've got it. And what?
ChristianSwingers.com, next to midget farm porn, that is one of my favorite sites. So,
are you saying porn or corn?
Right. Yes. Take your pick.
Silicon Valley. Now, Iowa's Silicon Valley, right?
It is. We have a lot of silicone up here, and you can tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell the difference between some silicone and some implants.
Right. Those implants in the ground. Silicone.
How do we always just crash and burn? We started out talking about Christmas, and the next thing you know, we're talking about midget porn. Christian Swingers. How?
Because you brought up ChristianSwingers.com, man. That's the membership to that will break you. I mean, it's just something else.
Somebody texted me the other day, and they said they were coming to Nashville this weekend, and they said, "Hey, have you spoken to so and so?" And I said, "No, they don't call me anymore." I said, his wife thinks I'm a bad influence, and in all caps, the text came back and said, "You are a bad influence."
Duh.
Maybe I'm the problem, So,
dude, you might be. Maybe we should call you Joe Denominator because you might be the common denominator amongst it all.
Did you say denominator? What did you say?
Right,
denominator?
The denominator. Yeah.
Denominator. Joe Denominator. Okay, I'll go with that. I mean, Look, I'm just trying to have a good time and lighten up the world. And I started in a tree stand by myself. I had this idea for a couple years and finally hooked it the other day at a tree stand with Real Tree Camo Christmas. And it's about how dad messes everything up. Dads always mess everything up, it seems, and they always get caught at it, And
Is the truth?
this is just a story. I played it for Abby because I always play it for, Pray For You. When Pray For You came out way back to 10, 12 years ago, no, 10 years ago. 10 years ago? Yeah, 10 years ago. I played it for my stepson at that time. And I thought, look, if these kids like it, if they laugh or they smile, then it might be a hit. And I played Real Tree Camo Christmas for Abby, and she actually smiled and clapped and said, Dad, that's you and Mom. you're always messing everything up, and she calls you out on it. I'm like, well, there you go. So
and along those lines, if God gives out double halos for sainthood and angelic tolerance, Lynn deserves double halos, okay, for what she has to deal with when it comes to you. So God love her. God love her.
Yeah, she's got her hands full, and she'll probably get a fast pass when they finally get her up there. It'll be like, oh, yeah, come on in, you're good.
You're going to put her right on the throne right next to God, man. They're going to be like, you sit on the right hand right here.
Well, don't let her fool you. She's not that perfect. I mean, but
dude,
she's
just don't, because we all know that if she has to deal with you even for 5 minutes every day, she's beyond perfection.
Yeah, I asked her the other day. I said, "Hey, where do we keep the spoons?" Just to rile her. So
Jeez.
So
don't get her upset too much. Now she's sending me some peanut brittle, so don't get her too upset.
I saw that sitting on the counter the other day. It's headed your way.
Nice. She sent some last year, and it's delicious, man. As a matter of fact, I shared it with my staff around here at the studios, and I think I got the least amount. I mean, I really do. Everybody just loved it. So
yeah, you might want to pull some off the side because she was raving. This is pretty good this year. So
cannot wait, brother. Hey, got some comments coming in. Diane says, "Good morning, guys." Good morning, Diane.
Hello. Is that Copeland? Copen? Diane Copen. Copen, you're listening. I love Real Tree Camo Christmas, all caps. Kimberly. Yay, Kimberly.
Yeah. Thanks, Kimberly.
Well,
that is a great
Kimberly, just keep calling in. See if we get it in rotation. That's the only place you can hear the song right now. We can't download it yet or any of that stuff. So just go to the radio, Kimberly.
It is in.
Okay, 9 to 7.
That's it, my man. Terry says, "Good morning." Good morning, Terry.
Terry, a lot of listeners out there. Real Tree up.
Joe, Darren needs one of your cutouts you have of yourself. I have a cutout of myself?
No, I have cutouts of myself.
Oh, you do? You really?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
What have I not seen that at?
Well, you need to go to Instagram. You're on Instagram, right?
Well, yeah. And I reminded you're on Twitter.
Yep. So we're kind of even. So I every night from now until Christmas, I'm doing an event calendar where I taste a bottle of wine every night. Last night I had two. It was me, myself, and I had two of me plus me drinking wine in my studio last night.
You and I talked about that calendar last week, and I was I was surprised you started out with like Thunderbird and Ripple and all that stuff, and then you work your way into the good stuff.
I was raised on a farm, Darren, Boone's farm. It made me everything I'm not.
Yeah, well, I was raised on a hill, Strawberry Hill, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. Mad Dog 2020.
Yep. Had a dog we called Mad. That's right.
The cardboard cutouts are a hit. You can have so much fun with them. And my suggestion is get yourself a cardboard cutout of yourself. The opportunities are endless. And I'm just saying.
Nice, man. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to check yours out on Instagram. I didn't see that. Kay says, "Good morning." Good morning, Kay.
Good morning, Kay. Kay Ferlet. Is that French or Spanish? What is that? Ferla? What is that?
Kay Ferlet. Kay, you have to tell us, Kay. What is that? Is that
K? She's got an E, a silent E at the end of that thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's not French. Good call. Vicky says, "You two are the absolutely best. Love the humor. Give it up." Thanks, Vicky. You know what? Here's the thing. People have asked me before, do you guys really know what you're going to talk about? Because there's no way you guys can rattle all that off without having some idea. Dude, you and I never talk about what we're going to talk about ahead of time before we hit the air, ever.
Nope. No, a lot of times people get brief. They get little things and talking points, and they'll send you these little things about, well, today is what is today, National Day today? Do you know?
Today is National Dewey Decimal System Day.
Dewey Decimal System.
Because today
See,
is
you
the birthday of Melville Dewey, who invented the Dewey Decimal System.
you get talking points in case you hit a rut and you don't have anything to talk about. But it's hard to talk about Dewey Decimals when you've got things like ChristianSwingers.com. By the way, I just made that up. I don't think there's actually a dating site for Christian swingers. By the way,
well, if I'm a Christian, so if there is, I'm sure I would have gotten the memo on that one.
they'd have put that in the newsletter.
I can barely get it's on his Facebook also on the Daily Post. Yeah, there you go. See, I can see it there.
Yeah, I mean, people got to get creative after Amway went away.
Okay, now Scott Kirkhart. He says I got to meet this guy, meaning you, because Scotty's one of my buddies. Scott's a great musician. He's a local artist. Do me a favor,
Okay.
check out his some of his videos on YouTube. He's got a great song, his latest one called "I'll Do Me." Great song. Check it out, man. Scott Kirkhart.
I'll Do Me.
Yeah, great song, man. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Especially you being like, well, of course you're talented with many instruments, but especially you being a piano guy. The piano intro is really cool. Vicky, new song title, Cardboard Cutouts. There you go.
Cardboard Cutouts, man. I'm on it, Vicky. I'll put you in on that one, Vicky. Linda Anderson says, "Good morning," and she spelled it all in one word.
Good morning.
I bet she gets a lot done by not actually putting spaces in her texts and stuff.
You know how fast she can rattle those off and get them to people.
Old
Talk
Linda
about
Anderson.
Instagram.
Yeah. So real tree camo Christmas. Do you love it or like it, or I mean, what are people saying?
Dude, I am getting such good feedback, and I'm not just blowing smoke into your ears on this one. I've gotten such good feedback on that. I told you yesterday on my request day, I literally throughout the morning had 4 different requests for that song alone. It's like, okay, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Yes.
So it's rolling well, and for me, it's always going to have special memories because you sent it to me when I happen to be laying in bed watching the original Hawaii Five-0 series, and all of a sudden, at 10:45 at night, my phone goes off, and I know right away it's either one of my kids has an emergency, which God forbid, or it's you, God forbid.
Right.
It's going to be something.
Yeah, you're going to get an earful either way, Darren. I hate to tell you, but thank you for picking up. You don't have to pick up.
I know, but I do. I feel, I need to.
Yeah.
Especially you. As many times as I've had to talk you down from the roof with a waffle. I know.
And that bail money, I still owe you for that bail money that one time.
Yeah, $3.78, man. That doesn't come easy. So,
Who knew there was a bag limit, daily bag limit on buying bagged carrots for farm goats? I didn't know.
See, now if you'd have watched midgetfarmporn.com, you'd have known that there is a daily limit.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. See what I did. Look that up. That's pretty good what I did there.
So, brother, you as a songwriter, of course, singer and artist in the instruments as well. But you as a songwriter, when it comes to writing a song, let's just take Real Tree Camo Christmas. And I get that you and Lynn are the inspiration for that, but how do you come up with ideas for what you're going to put on paper? And I asked this because before you and I started talking, I played another what we call Sounds of the Season. And it was a Christmas tune by a guy that I think is one of the greatest singer-songwriters in the history of music. That's Jim Croce. So I listen to Jim Croce's wonderful music, and I listen to yours, and I listen to other songwriters that are also artists. And I think, man, how do you get your inspiration for something like that?
Honestly, I've wondered the same thing because I've been fascinated by songwriters, especially Jim Croce. All the songwriters and the heroes that I have met all have selective hearing. And I know that sounds funny, but I get in trouble for it all the time because I'm always thinking in different terms. So, and what happened is somebody said something about, I want a real tree this year for Christmas. And I'm like, real tree? The first thing I thought was real tree camo. So I sat on it for a while and I thought about it. And then I'm like, wait a second, real tree camo. Whoa. And then the plastic tree. And it's like a combination of all the things that run through your head. We go, we need to, 2 years ago, we needed to throw the old tree out and get a new tree. Then one year we got a real tree, and that was full. I mean, the carpet. You know how hard it is to get needles on the carpet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which led to getting a hardwood floor put down in the living room, and then we got a plastic tree. I'm like, why did we put the hardwood? So it's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System, actually. and it's like you just let your mind run and hear things in different ways, and then you just go with it. And somebody said real tree. This year we got a real tree, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have a real tree camo. That's what we're gonna do. So it's running with ideas and not stopping. A lot of times people are like, well, don't just focus. You got to think. Songwriters are all over the map. I'm all over the map, mentally, and you got to reach out and catch it. But the thing is, when those ideas show up, man, I wake up, I don't know how many times at 3 a.m. and just jot ideas down, because they'll get out of your head and get run over by other ideas. So you got to get them quick.
I think it's such an art, and I think it's an art that in many ways is overlooked. And you get the privilege and have had the privilege of writing with, and people may not realize this, one of the greatest country music songwriters in history, the legendary Whisperin' Bill Anderson.
Whisperin' Bill Anderson, got to write with him. That was amazing. I've got to write with one of the greatest musician, producer, songwriters of all time, Steve Cropper, from the Blues Brothers, who produced all that stuff, who wrote the biggest song in BMI's history of the world, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay with Otis Redding. Wow. He wrote the whole thing by himself. I'll tell you the story on that. It was so funny. Otis Redding was supposed to write the second verse, and they had to have it turned in the next day to the record label, and Otis might have gotten into the brown bottle fever, and showed up the next morning and had not written the second verse. So he's singing Steve Cropper's part, and then he gets to Steve's what should have been Otis's second part, and he just whistled the whole thing, and Cropper stopped him and goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't have that verse done." And Cropper's like, that was your contribution. He goes, "I'm just going to whistle it. Let's leave the whistle in." So Cropper's like, we're out of time. We have to send this off to the label. So the legendary whistling part of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was because Otis didn't do his own work.
Wow.
And they went with it.
Wow.
And that became. So it's like you hear stories like that and you go, man, it's okay just to let things happen, let them go.
Otis Redding was so good. And sadly, and you know this, obviously, he died just before Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was released, and you never got to see how big it actually became. It was huge.
It's BMI's biggest song to date.
Wow.
As far as radio spins and airplay, it's the biggest song in the world. So yeah, just get in there, and it's okay if you hear things and see things differently. You just got to act on them,
Man, that's that's really cool. Again, it's a talent that's a lot of times overlooked, because people hear the song and they hear the great talent of the artist and they go, oh yeah, and then you kind of forget that somebody else may have written that. There's a lot of artists that write their own stuff. But let's take the example of the greatest, the living legend George Strait. He doesn't write very much of his own stuff.
Mm-mm. No. And if you hear one of the songs that he wrote, you'll be like, I understood. let's let Dean Dillon and Bill Anderson and the huge hit writers, because once they know a profile on an artist, they know how to put right in there.
Absolutely. I know one of George Strait's songwriters. He wrote I think 3 number ones for George Strait. Aaron Barker.
Yeah.
Great guy, very creative. Wrote Baby Blue, which I absolutely love, and Love Without Ending, man. I mean, he wrote 3 number ones for George Strait. Great songwriter. But yeah, it's guys like that. George Strait's looking at going, I can't do what you do. You just write it. I'll sing it. We'll make it a hit.
Well, a lot of these new guys coming up, if you start listening to some of the new stuff and you hear it all sounds the same and it's kind of jingly and commercially, it's like the biggest thing lacking is the art of songwriting. Songwriting is a complete art, and I'll be honest, it's kind of what's lacking in today's country. And what made George Strait, 50, 60 number ones was songwriters, and him having the ability, and his producer to have the ability to sit and listen to a song and go, George, this is you, And yes, financially, those guys want to be a part of a song, but there's nothing like somebody recording an amazing song,
Absolutely. And as we know, because I've told the story many times, and I know you and I have talked about it, George Strait, he's got 66 number ones. Okay, like he needs another, right? But he was offered Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off, by Joe Nichols, and he took. he just took too much time weighing the positives of it, and and so it became. I mean, it exploded Joe Nichols' career. He had a couple number ones before that, but that one just launched him.
Yeah, and George likes to drive around in his old truck around his ranch, and he listened to that song for a year, and to see if he still liked it after a year, which is great. But man, a song like that, you don't need an artist. That song will make an artist, and it did. So
absolutely. Well, there we go. Talking about songwriting. After we got done talking about ChristianSwingers.com and MidgetFarmPorn.com
and Cardboard Cutouts, Vicky. I think that's a song.
and of course, Real Tree Camo Christmas. Hey, keep the requests coming for that. I'll spin it all the time if people want to keep hearing it. And I'm telling you, dude, I got just an overwhelming positive response from it, and people love it, man. People love it. I think, like I said, when I touted it the other day before we premiered it, Bing Crosby is the godfather of Christmas songs, but you Ding, as in Dong, you are becoming the modern day one with your Christmas tunes. Because you talk about a songwriting. How does anyone get an inspiration for a song like Mrs. Claus told Santa Claus to go elf himself? Now, where does that come from?
Well, that was actually that was me and Danny Simpson, and Danny Simpson wrote all the Tim Wilson stuff. And Danny, you want to talk about a nut job? I mean, that guy's so far out there. I mean, the Zigzag Man has a tattoo of Danny Simpson on his arm. What I'm saying. Whew. But he had the idea. It's like, man, Santa, you ever wonder if Mrs. Claus ever told Santa Claus to go elf himself? I'm like, whoa, dude, let's write that. So we did. That's up there too,
Here comes a hit, man.
Speaking of going down a chimney. All right.
Dude, we got to let you go. I know you got to get back in your tree stand there. Have you got a deer yet?
I've gotten 3 of them down here, but they're so little in Tennessee. It accounts for about 3. It takes about 3.5 whitetails down here to make one Iowa deer.
Oh yeah, we got the big boys.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get up there at some point. I'm heading up to Ohio to hunt some deer, but I'm gonna get back out there and see what we can get into.
Well, let's put the plea out again to Stumpy, because he told me on several occasions he's getting you up here. So
if he does, we're gonna play Real Tree Camo Christmas
in July. You doggone right you are.
Yeah, it'll be July 4th / Christmas in July with Real Tree Camo 4th of July Christmas duty system.
And on the screen behind Joe, as he performs, it's going to be MidgetFarmPorn.com and also ChristianSwingers.com. So there.
Yep, and we'll even play you some of that mashup, Boy George Strait.
Oh, he was the best, man. He was. Yeah. He was so good.
Oh man, we better get off here because it's about to take a horrible derailment worse than we already did.
Yeah, this one may never get back on the rails. Hey, buddy, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon, and God bless you with that song, man. That's awesome.
Well, thank you for spinning it. Radio has all the control over this one. It's not anywhere but on your station. So if you want to hear it, play it.
We're gonna make it happen, bud. We already are. You keep it going. Keep cranking it out. Keep getting the inspiration while you're sitting in the deer stand. Tell Lynn, God bless her. I love her. She's an angel among us, without a doubt. To quote Alabama.
All right, I'll check in with you next week if I'm out and about and free.
Gotcha. You're not in chains. In cuffs.
All right.
See you, buddy.
I'll see you. Goodbye.
You see why we call it the derailment? You see why we say we have no idea what we're going to talk about? We don't. Thursday from Tennessee with our buddy Joe Denim. Hey, again, if you want to hear his new song, Real Tree Camo Christmas, you got to get in touch with me here at the K97 studios. Just go ahead and drop me the easiest way is to drop me an email on our K97 Facebook inbox or my Darren on Air inbox and say, hey, I want to hear Real Tree Camo Christmas, and I will spit it, right? Because it's only right here, only place. Can't get it anywhere else. Big privilege that we've got going on. Hey, coming up in a little bit, we've got some more